How we doing, everybody, and welcome to Wisconsin Sports on the Go with Trage. I'm your host, Trage. It is a fantastic Tuesday here in the great state of Wisconsin. Good stuff happening. The weather yesterday, fantastic. You couldn't beat the weather yesterday. Today, though, it's a little windy. We got the wind in as a factor today here. I believe up here in the center of the state, we got a wind advisory. So something to look at there, I guess. And then talking rain over the next couple days. But hey, it beats the snow. It beats the snow. So fantastic stuff there weather-wise right now. Looking at sport-wise, I mean, I went into the day and I was like, what am I going to talk about today? You know, I'm scrolling through social media and everything like that. I'm like, well, we got the Brewers. We're going to talk about the Brewers a little bit. They had a game against the Padres there yesterday. Bucks, I mean, we had to wait until Sunday to see that action there, so nothing much happening there. But then I did see something come across my timeline. So I got something new, interesting to hop into today here. But yesterday, I mean, on the national scale, we did see the WNBA draft. That did go down yesterday there. Kaitlyn Clark, as we expected, went number 1 there. Not much of a surprise. Cameron Brink went in the 2 spot. I think Angel Reese went like 7th in the draft there. Cardosa, she went in that 3 spot, I believe. If I'm not mistaken, she went 3rd. Her and Angel Reese are both going to the same location, same team there. So good stuff there from the WNBA draft. And I did see Kate Martin from Iowa, Kaitlyn Clark's teammate. She was there, and it was actually pretty funny to hear that she was there to support Kaitlyn Clark. Yeah, did she wish that her name would get called? Yeah, but she was there to support Kaitlyn Clark, and her name did get called. So that was, I mean, pretty cool to see there. But so, I mean, coming out of there, saw the WNBA draft happen yesterday. And, well, I mean, that's about it. That's about it that happened big time last night in the world of sports. So let's jump right away. I want to look at the Brewers. Brewers, they lost to the Padres 7-3. The Padres, it was a tale of almost 3 innings that were the difference in this one. The Brewers controlled the first 3. After that, it was Padres. So you look at the Brewers, started out the game there, running the first, and then Jackson Churro, 2-run homer there in the second. That was a 3-0 lead for the Brewers, and then a big blow-up in that 5th inning, and that was the big difference. Not a lot of hard contact by the Padres. I mean, I'm not going to say that they weren't hitting the baseball. They were hitting the baseball. Not a lot of hard contact, but finding holes, getting hits where they can, and they took advantage. Brewers 2 errors in this ball game, but 10 hits overall. 12 hits for the Padres, 10 for the Brewers in this one. Looking through the lineup here, I mean, leading off, Jackson Churro, like I said, he had that 2-run home run, but outside of that, 2 for 4 in this ball game here. Contreras, 2 for 3 in this one. We saw Frelick go 1 for 5, 1 for 2 from Adames. He's continuing to hit that baseball well. And then we had Rhys Hoskins, 1 for 4 there. Terang, Sanchez, nothing for him there. Blake Perkins, 1 for 4. Ortiz, 1 for 3. And Oliver Dunn did have a hit in a pinch hitter role there. He was 1 for 1 on the game there. Brewers, I mean, held in check relative for the most part there. Only 5 strikeouts in this game, though. So making contact, putting the ball in play, but not a whole lot coming out of it there. Looking at the pitching for the Brewers, this is where, I mean, Joe Ross, we knew going into this year that this was going to be a prove-it season for Joe Ross. Hasn't pitched in the bigs in a while. And going into this season here, you kind of just, you had to know at some point somebody was going to put up runs against this guy. And in this one, we saw it. You look at this one, 4 2/3, 9 hits, 7 runs, 6 of them earned, 2 walks, and 4 strikeouts for Joe Ross. I mean, not a bad... Joe Ross didn't pitch... I hate to say that he pitched terrible, right? I don't want to say that he pitched terrible. Like I said earlier, I mean, there wasn't like it was a lot of hard hit, like, line and doubles off of this guy left and right. Like, I mean, base hits are base hits at the end of the day, but I don't want to say that he pitched terrible. I don't want to say that he pitched terrible in this game. Just not his best outing. Let's go. Let's leave it with there. Not his best outing. Hopefully we get a good bounce back out of Joe in his next outing here, but in this one, did struggle a little bit there with this Padres team. Vieira did come in, though. Vieira looked good in his bullpen role. 2 1/3 inning there, 0 hits, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts. Vieira looked solid coming out of the pen there for the Brewers. And then Koenig. That was cool. The 1,000th Brewer, the 1,000th player to wear a Brewers uniform. That was pretty cool there. Koenig was that. 2 innings pitched for him, 3 hits, and 1 strikeout, 0 runs across the board there. So all the runs for the Padres coming in between that 4th and 5th inning there. I mean, you had to run into a game like this, right? The Brewers bats, they just couldn't come up with that hit. That one hit. They put guys on late in this ball game. They just couldn't string them together. Like we've been so used to seeing this year. They just weren't able to do it. And then in that 9th, they did load the bases up. And, well, Sal, a little bit behind on a fastball. I mean, everybody in the building, everybody in the baseball world knew. I think, what did they say? He had like 30-some fastballs, 39 consecutive fastballs heading into his appearance there, Suarez did. And then, I mean, that's all you saw. Contreras got a couple fastballs there before he had that little infield single that he had. And then same with Sal, all fastballs. Sal just a little behind, a little bit underneath of a fastball there, and just couldn't do much with it. Drove it out there, couldn't do much with it, and that led to the end of that one there, a 7-3 loss for the Brewers. So, I mean, all the way around watching this game, something that was going to happen at some point. The Brewers bats were they were going to go stagnant for a little while. They weren't going to be able to come up with that big hit. Now it's just a matter of, can we avoid that becoming a trend, right? Because in years past, we've seen this Brewers team where this becomes a trend, the stagnant bats, not able to get guys on, not able to push guys around, that kind of thing. Hopefully it doesn't become a trend now, because we've seen it here today. We saw it a little bit there against the Orioles in that game yesterday. So hopefully, bounce back game here in game 2 of this series here. Coming back home for this one. Hopefully, this is the hope, we get some good news with Christian Yelich coming out of tomorrow there, because I did see, they talked about in last night's game that he was on some new medication. So going to see how that reacts with his back, maybe make it feeling a little bit better there. He said he wasn't feeling any difference heading into the day here. So kind of makes you nervous, because they're going to make the decision here tomorrow whether he's going to go the IL or if they're going to wait it out with him. And, well, the way that it sounded yesterday, just hearing him say that there's no change, that makes me think it's going to be an IL stint for Christian Yelich, and which sucks. Because, I mean, when he's going right, it's hard to replace a guy like that, right? It's hard, no matter what you can do. You might be able to get away with it for a game. But multiple, week, 2 weeks, that's where it gets difficult, right? Because then other guys got to pick it up, right? You're counting on some of these younger guys to be able to carry the load. And, I mean, can they? Yeah. I truthfully believe that the Brewers have some very good young hitters right now. It's just a matter of how long can they keep that consistency in the lineup when you have a guy like Christian Yelich, who was hitting a swinging a hot bat before this series here, or before that Baltimore series where he was injured. But, I mean, we're hoping for the best. We're hoping it's a short IL stint. There's too many guys the Brewers need off that IL right now, right? I mean, you got Brandon Woodruff. We know we're not getting him back yet this year. But, I mean, you're looking at guys like Garrett Mitchell. You wish that you had Garrett Mitchell, that option of Mitchell, up there at the big league level right now. You wish Brandon Woodruff, 100%, and Devin Williams. I mean, you're talking about a guy like Devin Williams. That would be a huge bring back for the Brewers right now, because right now you're looking at the closer role, and you are getting Trevor McGill back, but we've seen Abner Uribe struggle as of late. So now you're leaning on Payamps. Payamps is he's a solid option to be the closer. Elvis Peguero's pitched good as of late, but I don't see him in the closer's role. So I'm watching just a little getting off topic here, but I'm watching Josh Hader getting blown up by the Braves right now, and it just brings back memories for me. Just brings back memories of watching some bad stuff happen with the Brewers there. So, a little off topic there. I just caught it off the corner of my eye there. The Braves are just racking it up against Josh Hader there, coming out of the bullpen for the Astros. So, I mean, all the way around, one of those games for the Brewers that you move on. You move on. You drop it. You drop to 10-5. on this young season here and you just move on, that leads you up into game 2 of the series. Game 2 of this series, Brewers, Padres, Wade Miley. This is the guy to get you back on track. Wade Miley on the mound for the Brewers, taking on Dylan Cease for the Padres in this one. Cease coming into this one, 1-1 with 2.16 ERA. Wade Miley, 0-0, 2.25 ERA on the season there in that one start. So not much to go off of there with Wade Miley. Brewers, they've seen Dylan Cease a little bit there. Adames, Bowers, they've both seen him a decent amount there. Adames, the only one with success against Dylan Cease outside of Frelick. Frelick in 3 at-bats, he's batting .333. Other than that, I mean, there's guys with at-bats against him. Contreras, Bowers, Sanchez, Terang, Yelich, but no success. Outside of Adames and Frelick, it's been tough sledding against Dylan Cease. So hopefully the Brewers change that in this ball game here. Looking on the flip side of it for the Padres, well, everybody's basically seen Wade Miley at this point here. Looking at this Padres team, the most success is coming from Manny Machado and Profar. Profar is actually batting .417 against him in 12 at-bats. 1 RBI in those at-bats there. Manny Machado, .316, 19 at-bats. He's got 2 RBIs and 2 home runs. And then you have Xander Bogaerts, .333, 18 at-bats, 2 RBIs, a home run against Wade Miley there. So hopefully Miley keeps the ball on the ground in this one. The Brewers defense makes plays, and that's what's going to be your winning formula there. Going up against this Padres lineup in this one. Avoid the long ball. That's what you got to do. Avoid the long ball against this Padres team and just get the outs. Get the outs that you can there. That's what Wade Miley does. He's an out-getter. He's not out there to strike guys out. He's not out there to go over the top. He's out there to get you outs, and that's going to be something that Wade Miley has to stick to in this game. In this game here. So with that, before we move on here, I want to mention a couple of our sponsors here quick. First, Game Day Supply in on Alaska. Do you have a sports club or team? Are you looking for some sweet custom uniforms or apparel? Check out the awesome crew at Game Day Supply in on Alaska to help your team get the sweetest gear. Find them on Facebook at Game Day Supply or online at GameDaySupply.net. Also, Century 21 Gold Key Realty. Call Peggy Sue or Anna to find your dream home or if you're looking to sell. Find them on Facebook at Century 21 Gold Key, your hometown team, Century 21 Gold Key Realty, or stop in and see them at their location in Marshfield. Also, Marshall Motor Speedways. Fantastic stuff coming up this weekend. I just wanted to announce a little bit what's happening down at the track this weekend here. We have the Spring Eve of Destruction. I don't know. Coming down to Marshall Motor Speedways, April 20th there. The gates will actually open 12:45 will be the Eve drivers meeting there. And then after that, at 1 o'clock is going to be the national anthem. 1:05, the Eve of Destruction does start there. They're going to have a burnout contest, Eskimo nose to nose, a relay race, double-decker heat there, and then a forward-backward race there, followed by a little intermission there that'll lead up into the double-decker feature, the tire race. And then to wrap it all up, we're going to have the obstacle course to end it there. So lots of fantastic stuff happening at Marshall Motor Speedways this weekend here. So get yourself to the track. Spend some great family time, right? Everybody talks about family time. You need to have some family time. Get yourself down to the track. Tons of great food, drinks, whatever you need. You got to get yourself down there. Get some sweet t-shirts while you're down there at the track. They got it all. It'll be a great family time down there at the track. So Marshall Motor Speedways, big event coming up this Saturday down there, April 20th. But with that, I want to stick with the Brewers. I just wanted to we're looking at stats here. I want to look at some stats of this Brewers team just to see where they're sitting right now compared to the rest of the teams in the bigs. Because, a lot of people are like, oh, well, the Brewers this, Brewers that, teams of the past, offense wasn't that great. I want to look at the stats right now. It's early, but I want to look at them. So right now, you look at home runs. Brewers are actually ranked, they're tied for second in the bigs right now in total home runs. Dodgers have 25, Brewers and Orioles both have 24 on the season there. They're actually facing the fourth place team right now, 23 home runs for the Padres on the year. Team average, this is where it's interesting. The Atlanta Braves, 297. You know who's next? The Milwaukee Brewers, coming in at 290. I don't know when the last time I could have told you I don't even know the last time I could have told you the Brewers would be up near the top in average. But right now, they're at the top in average. 290 average right now. Third place team in average is actually the Houston Astros, which is surprising because the Astros stink. I mean, they are down in the dumps right now. I'm talking like they just blew a 2-1. They were losing 2-1 here in the top of the ninth with Hader coming in, and now it's 5-1. That's where the Astros are at right now. So that's kind of surprising to see them there. Dodgers 266 on the year there. They're in that 4 spot right now. Team OPS right now. Braves in first, 846. Brewers, 834, coming in right behind them. I thought that was a crazy stat, too. Just seeing how well the Brewers' bats are rolling. RBIs on the year, Brewers are 4th, 89 on the year. Padres, Dodgers, 97, 96. And then the Braves at 90. I mean, it is helping out the Padres and Dodgers. They did play whatever the heck that was overseas there. So that did help that RBI total there. Looking at runs on the year, Brewers, like I was talking there, they have 94 runs scored in the year. Padres 103, Dodgers 98, and then looking at the Atlanta Braves, 95. Hits in total on the year, the Brewers right now 156. They are behind the Astros, 172, 168 for the Padres. Dodgers have 166, Braves 159, and then 156 for the Brewers there. So, all the way around, I mean, good stuff coming out of the Brewers right now. I just want to look at stolen bases along with that, too. Brewers with 23 stolen bases. They are 3rd in the league in stolen bases. The Reds actually have 32 right now, followed by the Nationals with 28. And then you have the Brewers with 23, followed by the Royals with 20 on the year right now. Total walks, the Brewers are actually not walking a crap ton. 54, they're actually ranked 16th in the league in walks right now. Strikeouts, this is actually a good stat for the Brewers. They're near the bottom. 21st in the league with only 129 strikeouts right now. You put that into comparison with the team, I mean, just looking near the top here, the Reds 152, the Cardinals 141. So, I mean, they're below the Braves yet with 131 right now. So good stuff there out of the Brewers in that aspect. Looking at slugging percentage, the Brewers are just behind the Braves there too. Braves 489, Brewers team slugging is at 474. So good stuff there out of the Brewers. Team ERA right now. This is where it's like a flip the script for the Brewers. Team ERA, the Brewers are actually at 3.99. They're ranked 15th in the league right now in team ERA at the moment here. Looking at, other notable stats there. Hits given up on the year there. The Brewers are actually ranked 22nd in hits given up. 125 in hits given up on the year there. So, you take their team ERA and you look at their hits and it's like, well, teams are taking advantage of situations against the Brewers. So that leads you in a couple more of the stats there. Walks given up by the Brewers on the year right now. They don't walk a lot of teams either. 39 walks given up on the year, 28th in the league right now. So the good end of the list, right? The higher you are, the worse you are. They're actually ranked 3rd to the bottom there in walks given up on the year there. So, all the way around, you look at these stats for the Brewers and you say to yourself, okay, what is the kicker for this team compared to years past? And I think the biggest thing for me is there's more of a balance. Right? Years past, it was all defense, all pitching. That was what was going to carry us. Now it's like, to me, it's a little bit of both. It's not so reliant on the pitching staff to get it done. Now it's like, okay, the pitching staff's doing well, but hey, our offense can carry with it too. And I think that's the best of both worlds right now, right? You don't have the dominant pitching staff that we're used to, but you have a solid pitching staff. You have a pretty solid bullpen, actually. I was about to say something about the bullpen, but the bullpen, when right, is solid. And, looking at the lineup right now, their bats are going. You have a guy at the bottom of the order, Blake Perkins, who's batting above 300. Christian Yelich, when he's right, he's hitting 333. And then you have Sal in there. He's about 300. Willie's above 300. So is William Contreras. And then Jackson Churro's hovering around that 250 mark right now. Trage right up there too. I mean, this Brewers lineup all the way around is hitting the ball well. And that's where I think the big difference is for me from years past is the balance between the two. Something that we haven't seen in a while. The ability for the Brewers to score runs yet slow down other teams. I mean, we saw that. We talked about it yesterday with the run differential. They were like plus 31 in run differential on the year. The ability to put runs on the board while also slowing other teams down. And also the ability to win gunfights too, right? I mean, this team can get in a slugfest and they can win those games. And we've seen that already this year. Some 11-5 games or that 10-8 loss they had to the Reds. They lost that game, but they were in that game. They started out down 8-0 in that game, able to battle their way back. That's my big difference when I look at years past Brewers to this year's Brewers, is just seeing the difference in the balance between the two. The balance between the offense, the defense, the pitching, the bullpen, whatever it is, there's balance across it. So, I mean, that's all I wanted to touch into a little bit there was the stats coming out of the first little stretch here for the Brewers and just see kind of where everything's lying right now, because the Brewers have been playing some very fine-tuned baseball right now, and I love what I'm seeing. I love what I'm seeing out of Pat Murphy, the small ball approach, the aggressiveness on the base paths. I love that. And I hope he doesn't go away from that. Something that we didn't see out of Craig Counsell that we wished we would have saw a little bit more, now we're seeing it out of Pat Murphy. So hopefully he sticks to that script because it's working, and I believe it'll continue to work as this year goes on. So good stuff there out of the Brewers. Brewers will have a game coming up tonight here. That'll be a 6:40 start there for that one. We will see a little bit of Wade Miley going up against Dylan Cease there in Game 2 of the series. Brewers looking to take Game 2 and then hopefully win the series here on Wednesday. But with that, I want to mention a couple more of our sponsors here quick before we move on. First, Sport and Spine Clinic in Greenwood, Wisconsin. If you've been injured recently, whether at work, whether it was on the baseball field, the softball field, whatever it is, and you need some physical therapy, stop in there at Sport and Spine Clinic in Greenwood and see Chad. He'll get you right. He'll get you back to work, back on the field, back on the court, whatever it is, wherever you were injured, he'll get you back there. Sport and Spine Clinic in Greenwood, Wisconsin. Sports scenes, sports cards, and memorabilia located in the Marshfield Mall. Get down there and see Al. He has everything you need, from sporting cards to memorabilia, jerseys, model stock cars, whatever you need. He's got it. Sports scene in Marshfield, Wisconsin there. And also Pittsville Farm and Home Center. We're getting close to spring. We can smell it in the air. We can see the grass growing. The weather's starting to warm up a little bit, and you might need some spring tools, right? You might need to redo your deck or whatever it is outside. Plant some flowers. Plant your vegetable garden. You might need just the simplest of things like cat supplies. I don't know, just I'm trying to throw it out there what they would have down at the store there. But you got to get down to Pittsville Farm and Home Center in Pittsville, Wisconsin. They have everything you need to get your spring/summer started here in the great state of Wisconsin. So Pittsville Farm and Home Center in Pittsville, Wisconsin there. But with that, I want to get into today. I don't want to talk about the Bucks today. I was going to talk about the Bucks. I don't want to talk about the Bucks. I've had enough of the Bucks right now. I get just fuming when I talk about the Bucks. I don't want to talk about the Bucks. I want to talk about something that came across my timeline, my Facebook page, and that was talking about the Green Bay Blizzard. Now, this is something that we haven't talked about on the show before here, and I really did not know much about the Green Bay Blizzard up until this last weekend. I had seen a lot about it, and I was like, I'll check it out. I got nothing else going on. I was like, it's on YouTube. You can watch the games. I was like, yeah, I'll tune in. I'll check it out and see what, all the buzz is about here at the Blizzard. And I found myself actually intrigued by this indoor football league. I thought it was fantastic. So if you haven't watched any indoor football, right, I'm just going to give you a quick overview of what the Indoor Football League is. So the Indoor Football League is America's longest continuously running indoor football league and is the second longest running professional football league in the United States, only after the NFL. The IFL was founded in 2009 and begins its 16th consecutive season of play in 2024. Looking at a couple of the other stats there, the IFL is the largest and most prominent indoor football league in the nation and the only indoor football league with a national footprint. There are currently 16 teams in the IFL, and additional expansion is expected in the coming years. 10 of our 16 teams are in the top 50 media markets. So good stuff there. I mean, they're getting the names out. They're getting the brand out there. So good stuff. IFL teams play a 16-game schedule. The IFL includes a number of historic indoor football teams, like the Arizona Rattlers, the Iowa Barnstormers, the Sauk Falls Storm, the Jacksonville Sharks, and more. Numerous organizations within the league have more than 20 years of operating experience in the market. The IFL offers a unique product, playing on a 50-yard field with padded dasher boards surrounding the field. The IFL's gameplay has 8 players on offense, 2 of which can be in motion at the snap, and 8 players on defense. So basically, they start back, they take off, they get started before everybody else getting in motion there. The Indoor Football League began play in 2009 following a merger between the United Indoor Football League and the Intense Football League. So good stuff there coming out. Just learning about the IFL there. And that leads me into, I just want to talk about a little bit of Green Bay Blizzard for indoor football there. The Wisconsin's very own indoor football league team there. So this team right now, just wanted to check them out here. They are on the year right now. I believe they are sitting at 2-1. Yes, they are 2-1 on this young season here. They lost that opening game to the Massachusetts Pirates there, 44-40. Watching that game, listening to the post game, they probably should have had that one. Lost that game there, 44-40. They bounced back though. They beat the Iowa Barnstormers there in Green Bay, and then last Saturday, April 6th, they won a game at Quad City Steamwheelers there in Moline, Illinois, 32-24. That sets up a big one coming up this weekend here, this Friday night in Green Bay, taking on the Sauk Falls Storm. So a good matchup there with the Sauk Falls Storm. I just looking at this team here on the year right now. This team, I mean, they're not bad at all. Not a bad team at all. They are coming off a loss against the Tulsa Oilers there. They're sitting at 0-3, but they've played some tight ball games. I mean, look at the opening game there against the Quad City Steamwheelers. That was a 38-32 loss there in overtime, and then they lost to the Massachusetts Pirates, just like the Green Bay Blizzard, 49-41. The Oilers they took care of them, 56-40 there. They took care of that game, but now they have this matchup with the Blizzards, and then actually they will face off again here in early May, the Blizzard and the Sauk Falls Storm. So a little bit of a break there. The Blizzard will take on Sauk Falls, then they will take on Iowa Barnstormers, and then they will go to Sauk Falls to take on the Storm again there. So good stuff there. Coming out of the IFL, a big game coming up this Friday here in Green Bay. Get down there to the arena in Green Bay. Great stuff, great family fun, great time at there. And if you can't make it down, check them out on YouTube. I mean, it is a fantastic league. I'm just getting into a little bit, so I'm learning. Right? You got to learn. You got to learn the rules. You got to learn everything that's going on. But, I mean, honestly, watching the little bit that I did, understanding the little bit that I did while watching, it was fun. It definitely is a fun league to watch there. And, I mean, I hope that, this thing kind of takes off a little bit, because the Green Bay Blizzard, they're up-and-coming team right now. They've been playing well. And then, I mean, this league hopefully doesn't get lost, because I think it is a very entertaining thing to watch there, and a lot of good players coming out of the Indoor Football League. So good stuff there coming out of the Green Bay Blizzard. I saw the Milwaukee Admirals did win the Central Division too. So hats off to the Milwaukee Admirals winning the Central Division. Good stuff there coming out of the Admirals. You got to get down there and watch some great hockey there. Good stuff there from the Milwaukee Admirals. But with that, a little shorter today. Not a whole lot going on. I want to get into the Bucks more tomorrow there. I wanted a day off from the Bucks. I'll get into the Bucks tomorrow there. Hopefully we're talking about a Brewers win tomorrow. We're going to get in more into the IFL as the week goes on here. A little bit of a preview for that game against the Sauk Falls Storm. But with that, this has been Wisconsin Sports on the Go with Trage. Thank you guys for listening. We'll catch you guys back here tomorrow. But until then, deuces.
Yeah, oh my Lord, watch me sway. Darkness falls and we all pray, hoping for the light of day. Down to the river I have